All right. Huh. Interesting. That's a good one coming up. It's quite an interesting position. Great. Yeah, this is a good alternative. I think for me personally, I would play this. I see. So favorable c3. Interesting. Queen takes d4. This is some tempo moves. Idea of knight d6 and c4, right? Yeah, and so knight d6 anyway. And this is quite an interesting position where if we evaluate this, yeah, two bishops, dark square control, better structure. c3 is interesting. Queen takes d4. Quite an interesting course for sure. So c3, e5, knight here, c4. I really like these lines actually. This is actually very good. Very solid. Maybe I should just stream this course, actually. This is a very, very good course, I think. Hello, I'm doing pretty good. Welcome to the stream, Sophie Rose X3. Hello. Um, so this is some chessable I was going through, and I was going to go to Capablanca move by move, I think, eventually. This. So, yeah, this isn't. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this is an interesting course. Yeah, I was very lucky to be picked for this. I tested the beginning ones. I'm not sure how many parts there is on this. I have to check the publishing schedule. Thank you. I try. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, so let's see. I gotta check this publishing schedule, actually. Because maybe I might have to be inclined to. Thing is, I skipped out on Wesley So's second one simply because I don't play the Italian game. I simply focus on the Roy Lopez. Um, so where's Wesley So? So this, his newer one is coming out. This is part one I have. I actually should ask this question. Maybe I will ask the question. This is a question to someone. But in any case, yeah, this is some really good stuff coming on. Yeah, and so I'm tasked with that. Anyway, so maybe I can get right into the study of Capablanca move by move. All right, so this was an exhibition game between Ozero Capablanca and F. Deuce Chitmirsky. If I've pronounced that correctly. This is in St. Petersburg. Hello, Bulleticle. How's it going? I'm going to be continuing on with that series, and I did yeah, there's an interesting chessable course. You probably just missed it. But yeah, there's this one that might be coming out soon. I have to ask the question about. I think there's going to be three parts of this. This one is simply the Sicilian, for what Wesley So has compiled. I've gotten a bit of a head start on this one, and I actually really enjoy it. I think it's got some really. I think okay. I like I have more of a sharper style, but I think these are solid but kind of sharp. And so maybe these are all worth trying for me personally. It'll kind of get me new ideas, I think. And I guess the Hyper Accelerator Dragon, this is actually very useful for me personally too, I think. So this is some really good stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can look at it. I'm not sure if you'd be able to see it. It's not released yet, but his stuff isn't released yet, but it's still coming along. Um, so yeah, that's so really good stuff coming along anyway. The site always never ceases to amaze me. But anyway, yeah. So it's got this stuff. Anyway, so now I think yes. So since we've got some good people for asking questions, I was thinking of jumping right into this game. And so this is against Kozero Capablanca and F. Deuce Chitmirsky. This is in St. Petersburg in 1913, an exhibition game. And so, yeah, I guess Chitmirsky was a local, and I guess Capablanca must have traveled and played against him. I think he was a strong player, too. It's probably like a master or something. And so, of course, e4, e5, very classical style, bishop e5. Yeah, and so these kinds of games I'm a big fan of, although I still have to get, the thing is, at my level, yeah, I have to, the thing is, my scaling of my level of understanding these positions is, I guess it's really tough to play, I think, at least nowadays. So that's why I'm really looking forward to, I'm going to be doing my openings soon once I get to that stage. probably, but in any case, yeah, this is a really rich theoretical line, and you can study this for hours. The Rilpes. So castles, bishop e7, rook e1, b5, all standard theory here. And so logically, just to explain this, this is often described of as an arm wrestling, right? So this bishop is kind of adding pressure to these squares, but here's the thing, we can't actually win this pawn because of queen d4, or even there's queen to here, queen g5. There's these two ideas. This is a valid way to play though, like bishop takes, castles, d4. That's like the most popular, or just d4 immediately. Lasker played this. This is the exchange variation. But in any case, so bishop to a4 is played, knight to f6, castles. Okay, so knight to f6 adds pressure to these, right? And so this is always ready to fight for these two dark squares, this b5 break, or pawn push. Yeah, so knight f6 though is tagging these two light squares, the e4 pawn, and now I guess the point is, and so here's another thing to add. And he takes on here. There's d4, and so I guess arguably, there. Okay, this is a playable line. I think Yuri Y in his Chessable course recommended this, and it's playable. I should get that course. I should get that just simply to see how to not get into a forced draw as white. Um, it's really sharp, but sometimes yeah they do some forced draw. No, I'm not beta testing that course. I applied for it, but yeah, I just there's lots of people who applied for that. Um I do know some people who have been picked though, and yeah, I've seen it, and I don't think there's much different between DEM4 that version as opposed to this other version. So I'm not really quite sure what the new stuff that has been added. I'm sure they're going to market that when it comes out. Probably only the video. Yeah, that's probably it. And maybe I will be interested in looking at that video or something. That it's definitely gonna have some great knowledge for sure. Um, yeah, I'm gonna look forward to that. But in any case, so back to the game. Yeah, so anyway, knight c4 oftentimes. Oh, you're gonna buy DEM5 almost for sure. Yeah, that's and just beware, it's gonna take some time. Like I am still trying to finish the regular one. Um, it takes some time. 7th rank, like, and also I kind of zoom through these a little bit sometimes. Pass pawn exchange for some of the enemy pawns, leading to a winning endgame. So in this one, so maybe he might give this pass pawn up for the enemy pawn. I think that's plan number 2. Rook a2, king here, or he's going to give some pawn to make a pass pawn go forward. We're not quite sure. So I guess his king is going up that way. Or our king is going up this way. Yeah, this is actually intuitive. I think I actually played like this before in real games. Like it is actually, this part is intuitive kind of. King c5, just simply just trying to switch roles of the king and the rook basically. And so yeah, this particular course, yeah, this is taking quite some time. I'm still at 63%. Maybe I'll try to zoom through more of that actually. Maybe I should set a goal of finishing it this week if I can. But yeah, it's this takes some time, I think. And I have a good I've been through this book quite a bit. Um and so yeah, I'm in a good spot. Good spot up here. You had that position in almost 10 of your games and you always ended up drawing. Uh it's really tough with these positions, especially if there's some time issue going on here. Um yeah, that's a fair point, I think. As black, I see. As black. Okay. So you can draw that. Yeah, that's impressive. Um, that means you're very good at resourcefulness and such positions. Some is white, I see. Okay. Well, in any case. Let's get back to this. So I guess I was looking at some of these possibilities that this is like basically the main way to play this is black if they take the pawn. Mostly punish are just bad. Mm, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I think I face a lot of resourceful people sometimes. I'm not sure. I think for me, most of my games are actually I don't have much draws actually. I don't get many draws. I don't know if that's a problem. Maybe it's just how I play. But in any case, all right. So back to this. So yeah, this is one valid way to play like this. And so black is active pieces, but white is a better pawn structure, and there's some king side space, arguably. I'm not sure. I don't know, but this isn't really interesting. This is really interesting way to play. But in any case, so bishop e7, not going for that. Not taking the pawn because the pawn it can't be taken pretty much. Otherwise, you allow some initiative for white or something. So rook e1, d6, c3. Okay, so rook e1 protects the pawn. b5 protects this pawn. Bishop to b3, d6. Yeah, and so another idea could be this, c3, d5. And for me personally, I actually quite like these positions as white actually. I think d3 is pretty strong. It's the thing is I guess the point is we can sometimes get this as an isolated pawn and get like a bishop or a knight to here. And this is what I've been doing nowadays anyway. But I've gone for this. I knew the first 90 moves, even as for white, and the problem with the first 90 moves is it's still really sharp, and there's still some problems here. For example, there's this, this. I think rook e8, right? Rook e8 is probably the move. Rook a8, just giving up on that side. Um, knight d2 or something. I think rook e6 or f5 are two moves. Yeah, rook e6. This is a Spassky variation, and yeah, a4, queen h5, takes. This is pretty much, and then knight f1, and then bishop f5 is met by bishop d1. I think this is still the case, or queen d1. Or okay, I thought bishop d1 was a move here. That was in some interesting book, but I guess queen d2 is more played more. In any case, and now bishop. Okay, bishop d1 here. This is yeah, and so this is very, very sharp. I think it's like 22 moves. And even if you know this is white, uh, still very sharp. So that's why I like the d3 system with this. Because I know this is white, but I still have problems. So anyway, d6. Um, this is the more traditional way of playing this is black. And so c3. So wait, d6. Let's see. Is there any comments here? No, we're still in this kind of thing. After 95, we're going to get a comment from the author. And so apparently it says it was a strange move order by today's standards, but we abide by the statute of limitations. So I won't complain about the strange or inaccurate opening moves throughout the book. Okay, so I guess he says the main path would be instead of on move 8, knight a5, they would play knight on move 8 castles, h3, knight a5, bishop c2, c5, d4, and this is the Chigorin variation of the Roy Lopez. This is very solid and well known. Yeah, this is a very, very good opening system here. Chigorin variation. So let's see. But in any case, c3 is played. So knight a5 by black. Bishop c2. Let's see. Oh yeah, actually, actually before we go through this, let's see if I can investigate the any issues. Is there any? Well, I guess I'll move 8 castles. Knight a5. Well, I guess it still transposes. Bishop c2. c5. Okay, yeah. d4. Queen c7. Knight bd2. And so also on this move, besides knight bd2, I can play pawn to h3. And that's very normal. Now, always you have to be aware, like, interestingly enough, strategically, this light square bishop oftentimes makes it hard for white to play like g4 sometimes because it could be met with h5. Simply because the bishop's on that diagonal. But if the bishop is on this diagonal, then g4 is easier to be played. Maybe I can demonstrate that in some variation. But this is just some strategic thing to keep in mind. I'm not sure if it's relevant for this game, though. Another idea for white could be a4. And with a4, the bishop often even just ends up committing to this diagonal. Or they play b4. Either commits or they play b4. And that's really a nice way to compromise this pawn to a4. And pawn to d5. This is another move white plays. And so maybe we're going to transpose into Karpov and Sticker with this particular move. Let's see if that is listed. So, I mean, it's not on here, but yeah, I don't know if that transposes. No, I did not buy that one. That one has really good lines. I know Honest Sherry does quite nice work. Sorry if actually, I just noticed my mic is a little loud. Follow you on Chessable. I will make that. I think I should make that possible. I think I removed. I think recently my settings. I messed up my settings on there. I'll fix that right now. Actually, you can see. Does it let me? You How do you let people follow you? Maybe I'll follow you. Does it let me follow people? I don't think it does. I said everyone can see my profile. Everyone can see courses I study. Um. Does it let you follow me on Chess? I'm not sure. Try my settings. Wait, does it let me follow? Exclude me. Okay, I'll hit no. Let's try this. Hopefully, it'll update. I'm not sure why that was an issue. No, 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 no. I changed my name on Chessable actually. To be consistent with my light chess. Um, keep it more professional, I think. So I've changed the name to that. Yeah, you can follow, Yeah, yeah. There we go. So yeah, you can give me a follow. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, my settings should be okay. For people to see and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to also. I'm actually getting closer to this. See, I'm at 715-day streak, which is pretty good. Yeah, this is quite a nice streak. Yeah, I 15 day streak. Yeah, very dedicated. I didn't actually see this coming. It's but just good habit, I guess. All right. So in any case, let's see. So back to the game. So yeah, d5. Arguably, people. I know some grandmasters and people would criticize this one, but I think this is playable. Now in any case, probably let's see. Move 11, knight bd2. Um, so knight c6 is played in the game, and let's see. Another variation could potentially be castles here. Knight f1, knight c6. Also, I think d5 is playable here. Maybe trying to go for Karpov and Zicker. And I think knight b8 was played or something, right? Or no, knight d. I think knight d8 is like the worst move you can play, but I think that was played. I can't remember. Let's see, what is the move series? Oh, knight d8. Okay. Well, I guess like yeah, this is really tough. There's some interesting things going on here. Yeah, black has this really interesting they're gonna play f5, and I think it's tough to deal with, like a King's Indian attack. But in any case, so in this line, the author gives knight e3, going for the d5 square. Rook e8. This isn't an accurate move, and you can play knight d5 immediately. And after knight takes d5, e takes d5, knight a5. You could play d takes c5, and knight takes c5. And I guess a pawn would be lost here. So this is really tricky. Like, it seems for this one, maybe, I mean, okay, arguably maybe something, maybe they can ignore it. I don't know if with like maybe queen d8 or something, but they lose the bishop pair. Oh, no, I think, yeah, probably queen d8 or something, but still. Knight takes d5. Actually, is this forced to take? Okay, queen b7 is playable, and you can take any 7, yeah. But in any case, yeah, this is just a one-way white can get some initiative here, at least. So knight c6, knight f1. All right, so knight c6 is played. And so another way this could have gone is after castles, knight f1. Okay, wait, no, we looked at this. Okay, so knight f1 is actually an inaccurate move in this game. It's actually better to play d5 here. And after knight d8, then a4, these pawns are very loose. And rook b8 is forced. Probably takes. There's gonna be control of the a file. Maybe b4 could be played. And this actually would probably transpose to Unzicker Karpov. And so, for example, maybe I will get that game. This is a very, very good, famous game. And so b4 is immediately possible here. b4, knight b7, and let's see if that actually comes up in here. Probably. Oh, that's weird. It didn't come up here. And oh, thanks for the follow, Idol. How's it going? Good to catch you catching my stream this time. How are things? I started doing this video series of this particular book, Capablanca, move by move. And so we're going through game 5 right now. Yeah, I read the book 3 times, and I quite enjoy it. He's like my favorite player, so yeah. But in any case, let's see. So So b4, yeah, and this could transpose to Karpov and Zicker. Good morning. It's not morning here. It's morning where you are because you're 14 hours ahead. But yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you. How are things? I remember this is our time we usually played our matches. I think, at least in the summer. Uh, let's hope things are going well. So, but yeah, this is quite the interesting knight f1, bishop d7, bishop e3. So I think Karpov has improved upon this game. I think this is but yeah, I guess I'll zoom through this for official use here. So knight f1, queen d7, bishop here. Karpov like starts getting control of this a file. Bishop a7 plugs everything. Um, and so he controls the a file, and then he plays on the king side. And yeah, f6 is very passive. He had to take on f4, I think. And then eventually he starts moving to the king side and takes advantage of these weak squares. Uh, yeah, and this is actually very, very bad for white here. The game ended here. He resigned. Um, yeah, and Unzicker was no pushover. He was the strongest amateur player that was the strongest amateur player ever, I think. Or I guess they called him the world champion of amateurs. Um, because I think it was because he was a lawyer. That's why he had extra. He was doing law while he was focusing on chess. I think during that time. So in any case, but yeah, so knight f1 was played, and yeah, so c takes d4, c takes d4. Now bishop g4 is played by his opponent, and again we're looking at these dark squares being kind of a theme here, with these pins, right? And so there were Lopez early in the game. The bishop went to b5 to pin the c6 knight and control those dark squares. But now the g4 knight or g4 bishop pins this f3 knight. So now this is going to be very tough. So d5 is kind of forced, right? Because like this is kind of I think this is a little uncomfortable, right? We got to go like this, and this is gonna be because of this. This is gonna be really tough to deal with. I think maybe there's some dark square problems. I'm not sure. Um, hmm. I don't know if dxc5 is the way to deal with this. Um, is d takes c5 even playable? Is the question. Or yeah, you can just take on f3 also. You can play like this. G takes e5 and d takes e5, and this is even better. A firm control of that the dark square here. And there's no space disadvantage. Like yeah, there's just many ways this game could have gone like this, and I think white is gonna have some trouble here. Maybe there'll be some sacrifice on this diagonal. Sometimes I don't know that this is weak. I guess that's basically the point. The king is weak. And so in the evaluation of the position, that's the second thing to take into account. King safety, material usually comes first, and yeah, at least in how I work on this game. But anyway, d5 was played, knight d4, and so again, this is going to be really tough for him to deal with. This is tact. Um, it feels like white is in trouble here. So Capablanca played bishop d3. I think now I don't know about castles. It doesn't actually mention this in the book, but I think maybe he could have considered just bishop takes. Okay, or knight takes, right? One of those. I don't know why knight h5 is recommended. I think bishop takes though. I think bishop takes is strong. Pretty sure. Like, okay, Hmm. Okay, maybe knight takes then. Knight takes. I guess it says this maybe slightly better. So yeah, I think knight takes that. This is playable here. This but I guess his opponent. He doesn't mention this here, does he? Um, it doesn't mention this here, but I think his opponent was afraid of being attacked by Capablanca on the G file. Or yeah, he said he may have feared an attack down the G file, I think. Um, but in any case, so yeah, castle's here, and Capablanca plays bishop e3, and rook a c8 was played. Now here, I think could have been a better chance to take right here. Knight takes f3. This is immediately strong. Bishop d7, knight g3, and this is about equal here. And author just says that maybe he feared an attack down the G file, but I don't know if there's really like this is unavailable. This knight, like this would just compromise these pawns. Like I'm not sure if there's a good pawn break here. Maybe there's a pawn break here, but in any case, like well, one, there's nothing immediate, and two, there's no weaknesses that I see on Black's camp. There's always G6 available. That's kind of the issue. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't see any weaknesses with this G file. I think like and plus black could get counterplay on the C file maybe or play these pawns down. I'm not quite sure. Right here maybe. I don't know. But in any case, rook a8 was played. And so Capablanca removes that option here of getting these doubled. He takes on d4 with the bishop here. This gives black a weak pawn, but it gives up the bishop pair and it weakens the control of these dark squares. And so again, part of this overarching theme of the game, do the dark squares matter? I think that's always a very good question to ask. Um, so bishop takes d4 was played, e takes d4, and Capablanca plays a4 here. Attacking these pawns, maybe he's going to get some concession with b4, giving him light square control, and attacking a6 maybe? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, these light squares are being attacked on the queen side. And I think that's just a really interesting. So this bishop isn't at d7, and so that's why those pawns are actually weaker than normal. And so this is actually really sneaky. Actually, if we look at this, like bishop e3 kind of sneakily gets out of the way, and it sets up something where, with the removal of this knight, these become extra weaker. These pawns on the queen side, like this, right? And the bishop isn't on d7, which is generally its natural square more often than not, which kind of discourages a4 sometimes. Like they can even consider b takes a4 under pressure of the b file sometimes. The bishop is on d7. So in any case, wait, how's my sound? Is it? Oh yeah, I have a sound. Okay. So four. Oh yeah. So a4. Yeah. So a4 was played, and then his opponent played queen b6. A takes, a takes. And now Capablanca wants to do something about this bishop here. His opponent took on f3. I'm wondering if she should have played bishop d7. Um, let's see. I guess the thing is he's arguing that he's removing an attacker of this d4 pawn. Um, he's removing an attacker of that d4 pawn, which is a very interesting thing. Maybe he's moving the queen away from an interesting square. Maybe he's threatening knight d7 to e5. Um, or just maybe bishop f6 and e5. I'm not sure, but I think that's why this is motivated here. He takes on f3 to control this d4 pawn more. I'm not sure bishop d7 is possible, or even bishop h5. I mean, most people would play bishop h5, but then they'd get hit by with probably knight g3. I don't know if knight f5 is possible, but at least knight g3. Then bishop g6 and maybe e5. I don't know. It's too crazy. Um, well, in any case, like yeah, this pawn is stable anyway, and I think okay, well, I think knight g3 probably something like this. Can we win this pawn? Let's try bishop f1 and see what happens here. Maybe, yeah, rook c4 is impossible. So I think the pawn would drop. Let's check if I got that one right. The take on this. So bishop h5. g4 seems to be stronger. But let's say knight g3. Yeah, bishop f1 as I thought. And the pawn's just simply dropping. Exactly. Look at this. Amazing. So h3 was played. Bishop takes f3. Yeah, and yeah, h3. Let's say bishop d7 here. Probably again the same issue. Maybe knight g3, bishop f1's coming. This pawn's gonna fall. So that's why he's taken this pawn. And so queen takes f3 and knight d7. And so again, yeah, maybe he's gonna try some knight e5 ideas, trying to remove the bishop pair and control that pawn on d4 that's blockaded. Okay, and so the author writes, an interesting imbalance arises with the presence of opposite color bishops. And so the principles are number one, opposite color bishops favor the attacking side. In this case, nobody has an attack yet. In endings, opposite color bishops allow the pawn or pawns down side greater drawing chances. And so there's some more spice in this position for sure. Basically, well, okay, so why it's better in the middle game is because one player doesn't have the bishop that controls certain squares. It's almost as if they're a piece down sometimes. Like so if their king is attacked by light square bishop and they have light square weaknesses, their dark square bishop can't defend against those. So it's like being a piece down in the middle game sometimes. But in the end game, uh it's really hard to get a pass pawn through because bishops are really good at blockading it, and we don't have a same color bishop to control the blockading squares. So in any case, back to the game. So 97 was played, and rook ec1 was played by Capablanca. And so knight c5 was played by Chotmirsky, and Capablanca played b4, just forcing the issue. Maybe he wants to exchange on c8 if knight b3. So like, yeah, I haven't looked at all these side variations in all the times I've read this book. And the author didn't cover all of them. And so before, apparently the best move here was knight takes d3, and I guess rook takes c8, rook takes d8, queen takes d3. This is pretty much the main line for the best move. But after b4, also I wonder if this can be considered. Is this knight stranded? That's a really good question to ask. Probably take here, and maybe like rook here, rook b1, maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see. I guess. Interesting. Well, there's some tactical thing here, but I think this is just good for white. Okay, that's equal. I guess there's some tactics. Um, yeah, if I had this position, I don't think I would see this. But That's the point. Look at this. And so let's say there's going to be mate in 2 because the e7 square is covered. Okay, interesting. All right, so anyway, knight a4 was played. And this is kind of a mistake. And now Capablanca is going to argue that that piece is out of the game and not contributing to the overall position. Um, and so, yeah, interestingly enough, okay, let's go back to this variation. So if he took on d3 like this, black actually has control of the c file and the dark square is in this position here. So this is actually pretty good. I'd say this is still equal, but I think this is really interesting, this position here. We don't have, like, yeah, I guess maybe black can't target these pawns of the bishop, but all those dark squares are just weak. They're just weak. So let's see. So knight a4 was played. Rook takes c8, takes c8. And now, let's see if my thing is blocking here. Oh, it is blocking the text. Good, good, good. Let's see. Wait, actually, I don't know why I don't have I get a I think I'm gonna mod idle. EIDOL 008. Yeah, forgot to give you a mod privilege. There we go. All right, so Capablanca, this is a really good time to pause the position and think. And so I think we may have seen this tactic actually earlier here. The problem is this we have to identify first this h7 as a weakness. And we have to identify this as a weakness. And this is the critical square. And so e5 is played by Capablanca. And so queen f5 is a huge threat, and white must calculate the next few moves to be certain of the effectiveness of this shot without allowing any good response here. And so g6 was played. Another idea could have been rook f8, trying to defend, or just defend a rook. But then e6 is strong. I guess g6 would transpose to the game, kind of. So anyway, g6 is played, just simply defending against this, just defending f5 directly with a pawn. And Capablanca then, this is a really nice way to play. He plays e6, just attacking f7. The thing is, like, interestingly enough, this king is okay, so yeah, it's opposite color bishops. These light squares are just being particularly undermined and attacked here. And so yeah, I think that's also, this shows the power of this bishop. It is hitting granite, but it's kind of becoming less stable with the moves that are being played here. So rook f8 was played. Yeah, if he tries to this greedy f takes e6, right? And then there's d takes e6, rook f8. Queen g4 could be played, maybe threatening. I don't know if bishop takes g6 is a threat actually, but in any case, like, yeah, the queen's out of the way, and let's see. So rook f6, knight g3, d5 was played. Capablanca goes for knight f5, queen takes e6. Yeah, if rook takes e6, then we can play bishop takes b5 because this rook is hanging here, and this bishop would be hanging after if he takes on h6. So that's a really nice variation or pattern to look at. So queen takes c6, then you can go knight takes c7, and queen takes c5. And this is actually a really bad position here. This knight, well, this pawn's weak, this pawn's weak. This is defended. This knight's out of the game. I think white's maybe like +2 here. Yeah, this is actually +3 pretty much. But yeah, it's a very, very strong advantage. So rook f8 was played, and Capablanca went knight g3. And again, he's maybe gonna go for this f5 square. Um, and there's some problems that are gonna happen here. And so black has like one really good defensive move he could have tried. Queen c7 would have defended this position very well. It's the best defense. And after bishop takes b5, winning a pawn, there's knight c3, getting the knight back into the game. Or kind of. The thing is, it's only attacking this e4 pawn and the bishop. It's still not doing much. It's still far ways away from dealing with defense and other duties. But I guess e takes f7 would be played. Bishop or rook takes f7, and queen d3. So this defends the bishop and attacks this pawn. And so after queen d3, queen b7. White has access to another trick where the pieces begin to boil over on the king side. So I guess this might be another puzzle here. I mean, I would consider playing like bishop to c6. Or even bishop e8 is fine. It's a forcing move. But okay, bishop c6, queen takes b4. Queen takes b4, rook. There. I'm not quite sure. Or oh, I guess it's a combination of the game. Never mind. This is just I guess yeah. There's no tactics here. I guess just yeah. Bishop e8 is strong. Oh, and bishop takes g6 apparently. Ah, I didn't see this. But I think in a game I would play bishop c6. Oh, and I guess this is just equal here. Dang. Yeah, that's not good. But yeah, I guess there's this tactic here. Probably like this, right? Maybe he's gonna take rook takes or something. But yeah, this is just very uncomfortable here. Or even knight h5 maybe. Yeah, knight h5 is probably better. Yeah, and this is really hard to defend. How do you defend g7? But in any case, okay, so now another mistake. A mistake could have been f takes c6, trying to get the queen in this. Because yeah, now there's queen g4, e5 protecting the pawn, and yeah, okay, there's this knight h5 idea, and this actually mates. This is checkmating. And so again, maybe the same idea does happen. This knight h5. Wow. And so that's a really good thing to look out for in anyone's own games. Okay, so anyway, back to the game. So knight g3 is played, queen to b7, and this is kind of like still not the best defense. And so I think I've given you guys a hint earlier. This is a good move to guess. So the best move here that Capablanca played was knight f5. And so after f takes e6, yeah, and so yeah, I guess so this is what was played in the game. Now another defensive idea could be king h8, then queen e4. Interestingly enough, and h7. So if they take it, the knight, h7 is dropping, and they're gonna get mated. So f takes e6, knight takes e7, and now there's a passed pawn here. The knight tries to get back into the game, but then I guess this pawn drops, and so White's got 2 pawns up here, and this knight is still kind of like out of the game. So that's one defensive try. Yeah, and again, also if they take here, h7's dropping. There's no defense. No matter what happens, there's mate. Just everywhere. So knight f5 was played, and Capablanca plays d takes e6. And so let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, so I guess the point is this queen's hanging. And if they take here, then there's just knight here, check, and g takes in, we're a piece up. Simple enough. Like, okay, maybe they're getting here, but yeah, we're just a piece up simply. And we could play like bishop d5 or something, and this is just a very bad position for black. So queen c7 was played. And now Capablanca, oh yeah, this is Capablanca finds this incredible move queen c6 here. Yeah, he's not giving him time, basically. So I guess wondering if anything was better than queen c6. I guess, well, I mean, we looked at queen takes f3, queen e7, probably queen e7 maybe. I'm not sure. I guess queen c7 was the best move. Queen a7. What's the problem with queen a7? Probably still knight takes e7 or something here. Bishop takes there. I'm not sure. Guess queen g4. I guess this is just really hard to defend. There's just some initiative here. So knight f5 was played, d6. Yeah, rook takes f5 is out of the question. Queen c7 was played, and then Capablanca plays queen c6. And so if he takes, then Capablanca is just a piece up. And this is really bad. So queen d8 was played. And so Capablanca took on e7 and played bishop takes on b5. His opponent plays knight c3 here, and Capablanca plays queen d7. And so I guess his opponent just reluctantly exchanged, but this pawn's still coming through, I think. I don't think there's a way to blockade that. Rook b8 was played. Another try could have been knight to d5. Yeah, so knight to d5 could have been tried, but I guess rook a6, attacking d6. Knight e7, and then you can take on d6, b8, and you can take here. And there's 3 pawns down, which is really, really hard to defend against. Rook b was played in, yeah, e7. Capablanca at least can win the exchange. But I think the problem is if we just play, like, okay, so I guess king f7 is played here. But yeah, I think, okay, here's an issue, I think. If we queen, this pawn might come through here. This might be actually losing, or I don't know. I actually don't like white's position, actually. Okay, maybe this is fine. Let's see the eval here. I guess this is still great for white. You just have to play. Yeah, this is still +4. So I guess this is still pretty good for white here. Yeah, this pawn's gonna. Okay, so we can take that pawn. Okay, so that's probably a lazy, easy solution to this. But Capablanca plays rook e1. The threat. So, and I guess, yeah, this is Lasker's idea that the threat is stronger than his execution. And so now rook e is forced. Otherwise, if he plays some move like maybe this, And I'm guessing we can queen, take this with check and just go back or something, or okay, bishop a4, maybe knight takes a4 and rook d1 here. And this is decisive. So bishop e8, or so rook e8 was played. And so Capablanca exchanges on e8 and plays rook e6, attacking d6. Maybe he's going to go behind. T5 was played, trying to bank on Capablanca not having time to take those pawns. King f1 was played, so maybe the king's going to blockade d2. Knight b5 was played. Yeah, and I guess, yeah, on d3, just king e1, right? And d2 is covered here. Yeah, there's always this, I guess. And the thing is, like, we can't control this blockading square while defending this pawn on d2 or whatever square it's on. That's kind of an issue with the knight here. So knight b5. Capablanca plays king e2. His opponent plays knight c7. Capablanca plays rook e5. His opponent plays knight a6. So b5 is played. Knight b4. b6 was played. d3 check. King d2. And his opponent, I guess, he kind of ran out of moves here. This pawn's not going anywhere. This knight's not really going anywhere. So, and his pawns are not... there's no real good plan here. He just plays on and lets himself get checkmated. So, Capablanca queens, and then he just takes this this knight here. And that was the end of game. So I guess this is yeah, this is a really interesting game, I think. This is 1913 too. Yeah, so I think maybe I'll just go through a quick summary of this game, I guess. So Suarez Lopez. There's this bishop g4. The move order was a bit different, and there was this bishop g4 idea where the dark squares are under attack. And so Capablanca had to give up the dark square bishop to attack the queen side and attack this d4, this weak pawn. And so h3 was played, and Capablanca, I guess, banked on his opponent not taking his high square bishop, and he realized that the opposite color bishops would favor him as attacking the opponent. And so now e5, this is a strong breakthrough, double attack. And so now the light squares are collapsing on the king side, and Capablanca starts winning material, and yeah, now it's just an exchange up, and it's an easy conversion here. So he just transferred different advantages. He transferred like a weak pawn and like light square control to a material advantage, and then won the game from there, I think. And he kind of removed one of his weaknesses. So I think that's really interesting, interesting stuff with this deep strategy and stuff like that to examine. So I hope everyone enjoyed watching this particular game. Not sure how long I've been streaming, but yeah, I think I'm probably gonna spend some time getting caught up on this interesting new course coming up. Oh, I got a new follower. I'll give you a follow. Musical. Sure, sure, sure. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna get working on my courses, and yeah, thanks for watching. All right, I'm going to end the stream, or maybe I'll raid someone. I'll check out who's streaming. I haven't raided someone in some time. So we'll send the raid somewhere. Let's see, who's the person to raid? Strider is on. Ratio's on. Maybe 95 ratio. He's a really good streamer. He's doing light chess rapid. Let's raid ratio. I think it's 95 ratio. All right. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.